So before I start, I realized that this video was a little behind, and I apologize for that. I kind of got caught up with schoolwork and stuff. I got my COVID vaccine, and it just drained all the energy in me. So yeah, I apologize that I'm a little behind, but regardless, here it is now. I got to see this movie a few weeks back, and for the most part, I will definitely say, for the most part, it definitely lives up to the hype. Now, don't get me wrong, is it perfect? No. If I had to rank it, I'd probably give it like maybe a B or B plus. Now, you're probably thinking like, why so low in that ranking for a movie that you've been building up or you've been so hyped for? Well, I try to keep two things in mind. One, this is an action movie. All right, this is a giant gorilla and a giant dinosaur fighting each other, going head to head. This is, if you're looking for an action movie where you can just turn your brain off and just see a giant monkey punch the giant lizard dinosaur thingy, you will definitely get that in this movie. Now, if you're looking for, a critically Oscar winning, worthy writing or dialogue, you're not gonna get that. You're just not. It's not even close. So, if you're into the critically award kind of stuff, this, this movie may not be for you. But if you're into just seeing giant creatures just destroying environments, then I highly recommend this to you. And another thing at hand is some of the stuff kind of like did go over my head. There were definitely some holes where I feel like they could have helped filled it in better, or they could have helped better explained. For instance, with the having Ghidorah's head kind of like be like the prime source of operating Mechagodzilla. It's it doesn't really explain all that well, or even at all, if I recall, how the skull operates this giant robotic lizard, and the closest thing it does is like it's supposed to be like genetically a person wears a helmet, and that helmet is connected to the skull, in which the skull is kind of like can control the robot telepathically. It's not really that well explained, or it kind of went over my head. Like I said, the dialogue, it's it's not the best dialogue I've heard. I've I've heard better dialogue in the 2014 version, but like I said, it's I had to keep in mind that this is supposed to be an action movie first. This is supposed to be a movie where the giant monkey punches the giant lizard, and the environment just totally gets devastated around. Like, there's no doubt about that. Um, there's not really too many other like familiar Godzilla monsters and villains in this aside from Mechagodzilla, and I don't know if there even is going to be any future films like or spin-offs or tie-ins to the MonsterVerse. Because I've been hearing a lot of rumors where it's probably going to be unlikely, like maybe like 75% chance unlikely that there's not this is like gonna be the last canon-wise film. I mean, I don't know too much. I don't have a whole lot of details about the what's gonna happen. Nobody really knows what's gonna happen right now, so we just have to wait and see. The antagonist is, it's very cliche, it's very stereotypical. Some corporate fat cat guy wants to, find some prime natural energy source or whatever and use that to operate and bring that the on the earth and stuff, use it for resources, yada yada yada. Not really all that entertaining. It's it's a little cliche. It's cliched. It's been 110 times before. I prefer not to look at the writing part of it. I just prefer to look at Godzilla and Kong. That's If you're here to see Godzilla and Kong, you will definitely get that. If anything, I feel like you get more Kong out of this movie than you do Godzilla, which if you're a Kong fan, that's very good. And because Godzilla already had two of his own movies previously, so this is the very least they can do. If they're not going to make a Kong sequel, this is probably the closest Kong sequel we're probably going to get. Who knows what's in store? I do have something I want to show you. So I made this around 8th grade, and I was looking around my files the other day, just trying to clean my, trying to make room for data and stuff, and I came across this. And I can't use my mouse pad because the data drive won't let me. But anyway, this is what I made a couple years ago when I was like 15 at the time. Well, I just turned 14 or 15 at the time, and looking back at it, me from 6 years ago would just be throwing a ball right now, comparing to see what younger me has seen in the future. It's just, just me just going through all types of stuff and about the Kong, kaiju lore, not Kong, Godzilla lore, um, what could happen in the future. Yeah, like younger me would be so thrilled right now if he could have just seen into the future what the future was going to look like, seeing Mothra, Ghidorah, Kong into the 21st century. I think that little boy me would have been really happy and would have been filled with joy. But yeah, overall, I would definitely recommend this movie if you just want to turn your brain off and not overthink about too much about the plot. You don't want to overlook into the plot too much because the story's just kind of been there, done that before. It's been written 100 times. You just gotta look at the picture of just a giant gorilla and a giant dinosaur just going out at it, and it's definitely worth it. The payoff is definitely worth it, I will say that. So, yeah, I would definitely recommend this film. Give it a try, and who knows what's in store for the Monsterverse in the future.